Hey, what is up, my fiery amigos? It's your boy GD Inferno here. What I have here today is another Rave in the Redwoods guide. Today is going to be the main quest for Rave in the Redwoods, the 2024 guide. This guide is going to be all the things we learned from the first guide up until now, through all the new tips and tricks. The first thing I will tell you is that you definitely want to do this by yourself or with a second person, no more than that. And also for equality's sake, we're not doing this with director's cut, just in case some people don't have it, and you're like, oh hey, what can I do to make my game better? Well, I can definitely tell you that. For starters, you're going to want to start out with the Fate and Fortune card class. With Fate and Fortune cards, I recommend the first four. They're all Fate cards. You have Eagle Eye, Scope Dollars, 5-second Muscle, and Best for Last. Eagle Eye and Scope Dollars is obvious. It's the best way to earn points in the early rounds. It's also good for a later part in the video. 5-second Muscle and Best for Last are best for the boss fight. We'll get to that in a moment. There is one weapon in particular that I would love you guys to have, and that is the Type 2 Butcher. The Akimbo shotguns on this epic variant is very strong, and it's very helpful for the main Easter egg steps. But before we get to any main Easter egg steps, let's start with what we need to do first. The first thing we need to do is open up power. You take the Banshee Wallby, or leads out to the Banshee Wallby, I should say, to the side of cabins. Take it all the way to the mines from the recreational cabins, go underneath the house, and you find the power switch. While you're heading that way, we can find the 3 pack-punch parts. The first one's in the mess hall, close to Blue Bolts. It's next to the pillar. The second one's going to be in the recreational yard. You have to open up the pit in order to find this one. It's going to be on the white tarp on the right-hand side. The third one is going to be in the main cabin in the room with Tough Enough. You have to turn on the power for this one. It's going to be on the second floor next to the bunk bed. Now, while we are setting up the map for the Easter egg, there's 4 things you need to find. The first one is going to be the Transponder Challenge. The way this works, the zombies will be outlined in white for what counts. If they're not outlined in white, you're a little too close. But simply get those kills. I think it's 25. And you'll be able to get it. This item helps you teleport from place to place. It's good for glitches, but right now we're going to be using it for the main quest for a set later on. The second thing is the Wonder Weapons. There are 2 in particular I need you to get. The first one is the Owl Bow. The second one is the Wolf Bow. If you don't know where to find the Owl or Wolf Bow, don't worry. I have a guide for that in the link in the description of this video. And also, there are 2 charms that we need to get. The first one is the 8-ball charm, and the second one is the frog charm. Those also will be in the link description if you don't know how to get those. And finally, the 4th item we need is going to be the mower. This is a co-op strategy in the boss fight. We'll get to that later. But to get the mower, you have to have 3 gems. It is a purple gem and 2 blue gems. And you put them all in the statue. Any statue, really, but it has to be those 3 in order. In any particular order, I should say. Then you'll be able to pick it up, and it'll say hold X to pick up mower. And then now on to the boss fight itself. The first thing you need to do is go into Pack-a-Punch Island, and then you want to talk to Kevin. Now Kevin will start saying that, hey, I don't want to escape, but we're telling we need his help. So he says he'll help us out, but we need to find 3 items for him to help him find Jay. The first one is going to be in the recreational yard. It's right behind the giant tiki totem close to the Karma 45 Wallby. It's a picture with a face scratched out. At this moment in time, I would recommend having Tough Enough and Bang Bangs, and as well as the Type 2 Butcher in your inventory. So now we go to the amphitheater next to the big fire pit. You'll see like a prompt to say hold X to place item. So for this step, you're going to be put into Ray Vision, and then there will be a bunch of zombies that spawn in. These zombies don't give you points, but they're here for souls. And this step is the hardest one out of the 3 because of what you need to shoot. In this step, you need to shoot the arms off of zombies. Because of the sporadic and or erratic movement, whatever the term may be, of the zombies, it makes it really hard to shoot the zombies' arms off. If you shoot them all off, you'll start hearing like a Whoosh's souls go down towards the middle. And then when you hold X on the item again, the slasher will spawn in. Put the Type 2 in akimbo mode and reload. and then instantly go for his head. In my game, I didn't have bang bangs at this point in time. I was just kind of like going through it, but it still worked without bang bangs. I would still recommend having bang bangs. Now, I can tell you the one thing with these steps is that if you fail them, you're going to see a little icon go alongside the perk slot where your perks are. If that ever happens, look at your perks, determine which perk you're missing, and find it again. It will take away a perk if you fail it. But once you do have the slasher killed off, he'll disappear, he'll drop a max ammo, and then there will be a nuke. The nuke just takes care of the zombies given to you. It doesn't end the round. So now you pick up the item, you have to talk to Kevin again. At this point in time, place down your transponder. The next item after you're done talking to Kevin will be in the camp cabin spawn in the floor with the propeller blade, tough enough, so on and so forth. You look down the floor, you see a bunch of magazines. It's on the far left side of the magazines. And at this moment in time, I would like you guys to grab the 8-ball charm if you haven't done it already. We're going to pick up the item, take it to your recreation yard, and then right in front of the white tarp, you're going to see the prompt to place down item. This section is shooting off legs. There's one special thing about the 8-ball charm that I absolutely love. It kills zombies, but it kills them by hitting their legs first. So if you slide into their legs, the legs will disappear and it'll go towards the counter on the souls. I'm pretty sure you have to be relatively close to this for it to work, but there's a lot of spawns close to that placement of the photo anyway, so it wouldn't really matter. And once you get all the souls will start sucking in again. You'll hear it sucking again. The slasher will spawn again. Shoot him in the head with the Type 2 akimbo. He'll drop the max ammo, disappear, and the nuke will go off. For the third time to talk to Kevin, activate your transponder. This is a speed running tech, and it makes the boat ride, or having to go to the boat ride 3 times, a lot shorter, which is really nice. He said he's going to need a little bit more, so we can go ahead and grab the item, but before we start this next step, pack-a-punch your Type 2 at this point. Make sure you have the frog charm in hand. Make sure you have the mower. Also make sure that you have the owl bow and the wolf bow done at this point in time. For the next step, we have to pick up a skull. If you go into the basement where the power switch is, next to the mystery box, there's a pile of bones. And there's going to be a skull there. This will not be here before you do the Easter egg step, but it'll be there after you activate it for the 3rd time. So you pick it up, you're going to take it to the beach and place it down on the beach. It's like close to Slappy Taffy, I think is where you place it at. But this time, you're going to be looking for headshots. And you'll see in my game, I tried using the Akimbo Type 2 Butcher for headshots, and it wasn't counting. It's like the very tip top of their head. It's super strange, and that's what will count towards the souls. But once you have enough headshots, all of the souls will start going towards the center where you put the item, pick up the item, Slash will spawn in, again, shoot him in the head, he'll disappear, drop the max ammo, and then a nuke will spawn in. At this point in time, grab the owl bow. The 3rd perk I'm going to have you grab is Meal Munchies, which is in the spawn cabin. It's only accessible after you turn on the power. It's close to the bow case. And then for your Mule Kick gun, you're going to put the wolf bow. But Inferno, you said the wolf bow sucks in your guide. I know the wolf bow sucks. I know it does. But just trust me here. It's actually going to be very useful during this boss fight. Now, we're going to go ahead and buy quickies. Or not quickies. You could buy quickies if you wanted to. I would highly recommend it. But Quick Revive, or Up and Adams, is the one you're going to need the most. Now, going into the start of the boss fight, Kevin will no longer be at Pack-a-Punch Island. If you go there, he won't be there. You can pack anytime, but he just won't be there. You need to go downstairs in the basement. There are 4 buttons, one for each player, depending on your game. You're going to look for the one that's not lit up. Simply hold X on it. I'm going to show you where they are. There's 3 on one side of the wall, and then there's one closest to the entrance to the mines. Those are the 4 switches. Just simply hold X on the wall. You're going to hear this sound. Once you hear that buzzing sound, go to the docks with everything that you have and ride the boat to the Pack-a-Punch Island one more time. This time, Kevin's going to be in the boat with you. You're going to ride with him all the way there. He's going to talk about his journey with Jay and the Rave and the Redwoods. You hear most of his lore by doing the memory charms or the main quest. But as soon as we hit the end where you're supposed to jump off, Kevin will jump in the water, and then out comes the slasher. It is now boss fight time. The way this boss fight works, there are 3 total phases. Each phase I'm going to explain to you thoroughly as much as I can and as easy as I can. You need to fill up 2 souls on solo. There's one closest to the cabin on the far left side, and then there's one in the water. This is where the frog charm will come in handy. It's where I started filling my souls up a little bit, because the slasher was then on me on the other one. But if you just run in circles in the water and the beach, you're not going to lose stamina. You can keep a consistent train. This is why the frog charm is so important, because with the frog charm, you have unlimited mobility in water. And also, you see me place down the mower here. It was an attempt to do well. I can't really do well with the slasher on my ass. But the way the mower works, you can put it down, and then if you keep a train in front of the mower, all zombies will die in the mower. It's kind of like the Trap-O-Matic bow, but it's a lot smaller of a attack point. This is where the owl bow, on the other hand, comes in handy. The owl bow is the strongest bow, and it's best for crowd control. So you get a small train. If the mower doesn't work, it's a solo strategy. You just shoot the bow on the ground, and all souls will fill up. Now, when you fill up the souls to where they need to be like capped out, the bright blue beam you see will be brighter and have like a more lighter color than before. That's how you know it's completely filled up. And once you do it for both, the one at the beach and the one closest to the cabin, both of these beams will shoot like a random circle in the middle of the playing field. All you need to do is take the slasher to the circle. He doesn't have to jump on it for him to trap him in there. He just has to walk over it. Now, when he does walk over it, with all the colors that are on him in Rave Vision, there's going to be one whitish blue glisten on his body somewhere. You need to shoot that little white blue glisten spot. That's the only way you're going to get out of Rave Vision and leave him vulnerable. Now comes the part where the wolf bow comes in handy. Normally, co-op or not, you can shoot the slasher in the weak points. You have to shoot it 9 times. It could be on his shoulder, his chest, his thighs, his arms, anywhere. It won't be his helmet, but any of those spots I've listed before, it'll be like a satanic symbol from before when you're doing the bow. And then all you have to do is shoot it with the gun you have, or you can shoot with the wolf bow. Now, the problem with the wolf bow is if there's a crawler or a zombie, you can either A, make a crawler, or B, kill the zombie. If you kill the final zombie that's running around, you will get zombies that spawn in again. It's best to hold a zombie at the end of like the first phase with the raising of the skulls. Now, when you shoot him, you have to shoot him directly in order for the shot to count. If you don't shoot him directly, you could whiff. Sometimes it went back to the main island for me. Sometimes it went past him. You have to shoot him directly in the chest in order for it to count. But when it does count, he will pound his chest and then start running towards the camp cabin on top of the island. When he does jump, though, before it jumps, there will be saws that roam the map. Those will actually insta-down you, so be careful of those. And when you do hear this roar, you want to go to one of the circles on the beach. There's one right in front of this rock I'm in right now. The slasher is emitting toxic gas, if you will. The green circles are your protective barriers. They'll keep you safe in those. Now, you'll see me pop 5-second muscle pretty freaking late. What 5-second muscle does is that every time you shoot a bullet, your next bullet shot or bullets shot will be increased damage for 5 seconds. It's really good for this boss fight, especially with like the Type 2 Butcher or the bows for that matter. But I just popped it super late. And then it pairs with Best for Last, where the last 4 bullets of your clip are increased damage. So if you had something like, just as an example, we're going to use the Type 2 Butcher. Each hand has 32 bullets, well, it's 48 bullets. If you get down to 4 bullets in each, those 4 bullets will be increased damage. It's best for spraying and praying hordes, and it's also good for something like an SMG where they have low ammo. But that's enough of jabbering about the cards. Going back to the phase itself, when we are in the green circles, skeleton zombies will spawn. You've seen it in my charm guide. These skeletons have a little bit heavier health, and the only effective way of killing them in this state are most likely to be the bows. If you want to use the Mauler Sentinel, that's fine. Type 2 Butcher was trying, but it wasn't doing very well. I would just still recommend just using the bows here. And then once the phase is over, you'll see yourself go back into Rave Vision, and at this point, it's just going to be a rinse and repeat. Now, with the second phase and the third phase, there will be a border between the 3 rocks. You will have to traverse the entire island throughout the outsides in order to get from one part to the other. That's the most unfortunate part about this boss fight. But it would be the same thing. Fill the souls. Have the slasher go into the circle, shoot the glisten spot, shoot him with the wolf bow 9 times, and then rinse and repeat. For the third phase, there's a little more borders. Do the same thing over again. But when you actually shoot the final symbol on him, he'll do a little pound thing. He won't jump back up on the third phase. He'll actually just start running at you because he's vulnerable. He knows he's weak. So it's more of a final defense, fight or flight. He's going to attack you now. At this point, you just need to shoot the boss. This is where the Type 2 comes in handy the most. Bang Bangs and the Pack-a-Punch gun. It's just straight spray him in the head, upper chest. And when you have done enough damage to him, he will just simply fall to the ground in a blaze of glory, just burning away. And then about 10 seconds later, you're going to have the soul key and a good cutscene. Oh, no, I won't say good cutscene, just the beautiful cutscene at the end. But I do hope you enjoy this guide. It's a little long, I'd say, but I'm just trying to make everything clear with the best strategies I have for you guys. And I'll see you guys in the next one.